Hey everybody, what's up? This is Higa, and today on Big on the Basics, we're gonna cover the squat. The squat is the king of all leg exercises. I don't care how much a guy presses on the leg press or all that other stuff. If you can't squat a good amount of weight properly on your back, your legs won't get strong. End of story. So we're gonna go through the way I set up my squat, and we can try a couple of variations as well to help with your training. All right, first of all, getting under the bar. Getting under the bar is very important. You wanna make sure that this bar is not high up on your neck so that when you squat, it's gonna bend you forward. You kinda wanna get it on the lower traps if you can, all right? I personally like to have my hands out as wide to the rack as possible. I wanna make sure I'm lining up my head so that when I get under the bar, hopefully that's gonna be centered as much as possible on my back. I wanna make sure it's nice and tight on my upper traps right now, okay? I don't wanna lift up the squat like this. I actually am really trying to keep my traps tight. I'm squeezing my upper back and shoulders nice and tight so it just creates a shelf to pick up the bar, okay? Once I get that established, I'm gonna stand up, walk out with control, keep my chest up, and proceed to get down, hopefully to parallel, and then come back up, okay? You wanna make sure the three basic rules when you squat. Your chest is always up, your core is engaged, but the hinge, meaning where I am hinging at my hip, I am not squatting with my knees forward and tucking my tail like a scared dog, okay? You don't want to do that. You hinge at the hip, right where the hip crease meets the top of the thigh. It's like I'm gonna sit back on a stool that's not there, and then come up explosively, okay? A lot of guys will try to drop down really fast. I'm not that kind of a squatter. I like to have more of a controlled descent and come up as quickly as possible. Another important thing is foot placement when you squat. You prefer not to squat so narrow because that won't open up your hips. I like to have my feet set up a little bit wider than shoulder width with my toes out, because with my toes out, that opens up my hips. If I have my toes straight forward, I probably won't be able to get down to depth because my hips aren't open. When I turn my toes out, it'll open up my hips. All right, gang, so a lot of people have questions. What kind of squats should I do? Obviously, you should probably learn how to do a proper barbell squat, in my opinion, because learning that basic is very important. It doesn't have to be heavy. You need to learn how to properly hinge, how to keep your core engaged, and making sure that your chest is up all the time, okay? You can worry about weight later because you're gonna get stronger. Learn proper technique, okay? Now, other variations. Some people will do what they call a high bar squat, meaning that the bar will be placed a little higher up on the traps, and when you get really heavy, that is naturally gonna want to tilt you forward, okay? So it puts a lot more stress on your quads, but you also have to brace your core even tighter, because if not, if I got a 500-pound bar even on my back, but it's so high up, it's wanting to tilt me forward, I gotta make sure that I'm bracing my core tight so that I can perform the lift properly. Now this year in the animal pack cage, I wanted to challenge myself. I did 505-pound pause squats. Now pause squats, if you haven't done them, they're a whole different animal, you know? Time under tension is very, very hard. What I did was I dropped to the bottom of my squat position and I tried to hold it for a full 1.5 seconds. I let the MC actually say 1/1000 until I came up. And let me tell you, even if it's like 100 pounds on your back, if you're a beginning lifter, that's really tough to do. And fortunately, I was able to do 13 reps with 505 pounds. If you're gonna do pause squats, really be aware that you wanna make sure that you're staying really focused and engaged in the core, because when you loosen up, it's gonna be really, really tough to perform the lift. So if you're a beginning lifter and you're deciding to do a pause squat, be aware that it's gonna be a very hard lift to do. Keep focused under your time under tension, because after rep 5, to me, it seems like the amount of lactic acid that dumps into my legs and hips and my lower back is just really tremendous, and it'll really like break down your core. So try to find a weight that you could do, say 6 or 8 reps with, you know, and work on your form, but try to get down to depth at least, you know. Coming out of depth from that long of a pause is really hard to do, but I'm telling you, it's gonna really help with your normal squat. Hey, so thanks for listening to my Big on the Basics. I really hope that these squat tips will help you. It's very important, don't skip squats. I squat 3 times a week. It's just a different variation. Sometimes it'll be just a regular barbell squat. One day it could be pause squats or a safety bar squat. And then before every deadlift workout, I always start with some type of a front squat. So please add it to your routine. I really hope this video was helpful for you. If you want to check out more videos by Animal Pack, check them out right here. Thank you for watching Big on the Basics, and I appreciate it. Aloha.